I'm just staring myself at the actual reflection of this mirror. And while at it, the Lakitu with the camera somehow looking at me as well. So I'm very curious to see what he was gonna look at me from. So either way though, go away Lakitu! Oh wait a minute, you just back away as soon as I've done my first person view. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I am of course back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Mario 64 DS for the Nintendo DS. So last time we have managed to able to gather even more Power Stars and managed to wrap things up in terms of Dire Docks, and also we managed to get started in Snowman's Land. And today for this episode is the fact that we're about to be hopefully concluded not only in terms of Snowman's Land, but also we might able to do not one, but two worlds, other two worlds as well. But at least depending on time though, so either way though, let's get to it with Mission 5, Snowman's Silver Star. Once again, we need to collect all 5 of those silver stars basically, so I'm guessing it's like an alternative version of this specific mission from the likes of the original game. Oh, son of a... Stupid Mr. Blizzard. I hate when that happened right there. Especially noticeable, they always seem to able to, like, jump scared at me. But regardless of everything else though, I think I might be alright with this, so... Anyway though, a few things I want to explain about this for this discussion for this point today is that obviously today's day is of course the, I won't classify for saying it's the 19th of March today, in this case in 2021, and I'm guessing that one thing that Tiana hasn't exactly mentioned about this, ever since enjoying the forms of in yesterday's Pokemon Snap Let's Play, recently is the fact that Okami Den for the UK version specifically on the Nintendo DS has been turned into a decade old. So, geez, I can't even believe it's been 10 years already for Okami Den. So, let me know in the comments below of what you think about the Okami games. Even though despite they only got 2 of them, well, at least ports doesn't count, because other than it's like exactly the same game, but with updated visuals and all that stuff. So I'd like to hear your thoughts about what you think about Okami games in general, or to be more specifically, the Okami duology games. But either way though, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Although despite the fact I haven't really touched those yet, but I will at some point once I finish up with certain Zelda games first, mainly due to the fact that I'm still working on Ocarina of Time still on the Nintendo 64, and eventually I'll do Majora's Mask on the N64 as well. So, but either way though, it's gonna be a lot of stuff I was gonna be invested with it, so... Mission 6, Into the Igloo. Now, you remember the forms of how the fact that since we already did done the 5th mission in this world already, that's only being about the fact the matter is though, is that in the original game, that it gets like a red coin mission, whilst the forms of the DS remake is being replaced by the forms of, well, just the 5 Snowman's Silver Stars, basically. So because of that though, yeah, at least that's a little bit of some sort of like an alteration. Although, don't worry, we will still come across into those red coins eventually, once we get inside the igloo, because I say that because, well, there's going to be some different alterations when it comes to the forms of the actual layout and everything. So because of that though, we'll talk more about that whenever we get into it. So, anyway, speaking of Pokemon Snap though, is the fact that obviously Tiana, she's almost good at finishing up Pokemon Snap Let's Play, so that way that we could possibly able to actually be looking forward to able to trying out new Pokemon Snap for the Switch. So because of that though, I'm still excited for it, especially noticeable it's been like, you know, 20 years or something like that, so... Anyway though, another thing I just want to point out right away is the fact that next Thursday, that the 3DS in the UK will be turning to 10 years old as well, and I believe next Sunday, if I recall, that the 3DS is also getting its 10th year anniversary treatment as well. So that means that, yes, the 3DS has been... Well, it already did in Japan, like usually it's been out for about a decade ago, so I believe Nintendo that only left now is of course the Wii U will be for next year's 10-year anniversary, despite the fact that the Wii U didn't didn't do so well, mainly due to the fact that with the sales, as well as the commercial failures to top it off as well as the lack of third-party support, which, unlike the Switch, did manage to do really damn good, especially noticeable with like, well, good, damn good kind of way. So, but either way though, that's as far as I can think about it. So, in fact, also, let me know in the comments below of what you think about the Wii U overall. I mean, surely I found that system to be pretty great, although not the best, but either way though, a great console indeed. But it's kind of a shame that the Wii U has like a short lifespan. Well, almost kind of similar to the forms of well, I would say the GameCube lifespan or the N64 lifespan as well. But usually, unlike the PlayStation 2, does have its long lifespan, and also, I think that's pretty much how I can usually think about it. So, God knows until when Nintendo Switch's lifespans will last for. But either way though, some people seem to say it's like 5 years or 6 years or anything else like that. But again, it could be a possibility, folks. It could be a possibility. So, anyway though, so let's go ahead and grab some more coins while sliding down for this little slide thing down there. But yeah, there's not much else I can honestly try to talk about, I'm afraid, apart from the fact that, you know, relatively speaking, it's just the fact of the matter is, though, I have pretty much got all organized for a certain amount of things. Even, oh jeez, that was close. I almost gonna get myself screwed over for a second there. But anyway, since we got ourselves 54 coins so far, and now we're gonna go inside the igloo itself, and as you can see, everything else has changed around here, ever since the original game. Because normally, in the original version of this specific section, that normally just gets like a 3D kind of maze to it. Well, in this version of the game this time around though, is the fact that obviously we no need to worry about mazes, so instead, that we actually now need to deal with water and stuff like that. So either way though, and while at it, that there's going to be some whole bunch of coins, and of course keep that in mind, be very careful of this freezing water, because otherwise you will able to lose your health if you manage to able to swim on that frozen water for quite some time. So yeah, it's a good thing I did manage to able to, well, get the Luigi cap to begin with, because otherwise that if I use Wario, then it'll make it impossible for able to reach certain places and stuff. But regardless of everything else though, that's all I can honestly try to say. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab another red coin from down there. And yeah, I think normally though is the fact that I'm pretty sure that those 4 red coins are always actually would have to be by default. Oh, okay. I somehow managed to ground pound in midair, and then I somehow managed to get the red coin from there, so that's interesting. And yeah, there's also the huge emphasis on the, I think, that, you know, the actual, the star spawning, section, whenever you find the actual cage or something, that also has been changed as well, because normally in Mario 64, in the original game, then you have to obtain the Vanish Cap, and also if you're trying to jump onto a certain point, then you would able to get the Power Star from there. But in here, basically, the Power Star is now located onto that, well, in a lower level, but in the forms of got trapped in a cage, as you can see. But it still requires a vanishing move, but this time around, you only have to play as Luigi, so, something's worth knowing for. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab this red coin from here, and there we go. So thankfully, we can able to actually just grab this first, while we're on the water somehow, and, well, we're just gonna have to obtain the red coin star for the better. Although originally I was gonna able to do this in a chronological order, but again, it really doesn't matter to me though, because otherwise that I just need to take care of the red coin stars at least. So in this case, speaking of red coins in the house is the name of the mission that we've actually accomplished. So yeah, it seems all fine and dandy and everything, and we'll head back in here for the last time, and because of that, we can able to hop right into the igloo mission for reals. So, and hopefully, we would be able to wrap things up completely in terms of, well, Snowman's Land. So, although there's also a shortcut you can take, but it's actually kind of difficult to do. In fact, let me try this again. Is this possible? Ah, no. I really did try. I literally did try to able to actually just try to achieve certain shortcuts. Oh, can I? Ah, dang it. That little, locked up little thing right there just managed to stop me for doing so. Fine, we'll take a normal way, or, alternatively, that, I'm presuming that, unlike in the original Super Mario 64, that normally the owl wasn't shown up in Journey forms of this particular stage. I'm pretty sure the owl in this particular remake, it does manage to appear, which, you see what I mean whenever we're able to find this, peculiar tree. Well, not so much in the beginning though, but to be more accurately, it's this tree over there, right near to where the regular coin went. And if we just climb through, and then that way we'll find an owl just beyond in that tree. So, yeah, it should be all pretty swell. And then we can take a flight from there. Sure, it might be pretty easy though if you're trying to do the first ever mission, but I'm just going to skip that for now because obviously we've already done that as Luigi of all things to make things a little bit easier for ourselves. So anyway, let's crawl into this little igloo once again, and hopefully we will get ourselves another power star from there. So anyway, so let's go ahead and obtain this power flower as soon as we're able to get a good angle there. And there we go, and we should be able to... Ah, dang it. Oh well, no big deal. At least we got enough time to able to make it to the power star itself. And there we go. That pretty much wraps it up in terms of Snowman's Land. All in all, a pretty short and easier kind of world. Like, no deaths or anything else like that so far, so that's kind of impressive in my book. And it looks like we've only got about 5 more courses to go. Well, excluding the forms of the secret power star missions in the castle itself. So, but don't worry, we'll get to the forms of the bunnies system whenever we get into a later portion. So, the next course we have is course number 11, Wet Dry World. The first mission we have is Shocking Arrow Lifts. For this mission, I'm gonna have to go for Luigi again, although despite the fact that it might be pretty broken, but either way though, it's one able to make things a little bit easier for ourselves. So anyways, the main emphasis on this world, as you can tell, is the fact that every time whenever you get into the forms of the actual painting, depending on which specific jump heights you can able to actually achieve from, that also means is the fact that you would be able to actually just, well, take this particular mission for instance, that normally I went into the painting, but I somehow jump a little bit higher onto the painting. So this means the water level is already rised up into almost like the highest level, but if I jump a little bit, that means I'll get a lesser water level, which you'll see why as soon as we get into the next mission. Mission 2, Top of the Town. So I believe we'll go for Mario for this one, for Yoshi for able to wearing Mario's cap on. So thankfully I don't have to worry about just trying to able to backtrack for a little bit for switching characters and everything. So, well, apart from that one particular exception, which we'll get into that until whenever we're able to continue our progression for this game basically. So, I'm really hoping I can able to finish this Let's Play at some point by the end of the month on March. But the thing is though, is the fact that, well, actually I'll discuss more about that until whenever we get into the 100 coin power star mission basically. So there we go. Easy and self-explanatory mission, so you're gonna have to make your way to the top, and that's pretty much how that goes. Mission 3, 5 secrets in the swallows and sky. Or shallows and sky, I should say. Whoops. I should not meant to able to mention something a little bit more weird, to say the least, but it knows what it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and activate most of these switches, even though despite the fact that for whatever reason, I'm just focusing on the 100 coin power star mission for whatever reason. But at least we can able to activate this. So that's another way you can able to rely on the changing the water level system. In fact, it does remind me of a very similar level from the likes of Sonic Adventure 2, Aquatic Mine. I think that's what the level is called anyway. So either way though, because you can able to constantly change the water level and stuff like that by utilizing switches and stuff. So anyway, so let's go ahead and find one of those secrets in here. And if we shove this over, that gives us the second secret. So yeah, something's worth mentioning though is the fact that, talking of which of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, regardless of doing a Let's Play of it, yes, I will able to do it at some point in 2022. Just because, well, obviously there are some other Let's Plays we're going to be focusing on first. Mainly with like, well, trying to conclude the rest of the entire trilogy of the Sonic Advance games. Although, mind you, we've already done Sonic Advance 1 and Sonic Advance 2 since about a year ago almost. And also we did manage to able to tackle through Donkey Kong Country 1 since 2019. And then last year we did tackle through, you know, Donkey Kong Country 2. But then we figured we might as well do Donkey Kong Country 3 for this year. So because of that though, there's gonna be a whole lot of schedules needs to be done. Although including the forms of going back into you know, Kirby Superstar Ultra at some point on May. So, anyways, enough about that, and let's move on to the next mission, which is Mission 4, Express Elevator, Hurry Up. And if you're trying to play as Luigi on this mission, something interesting happens. Like, normally, if you're trying to able to go ahead and hop onto that little, platform, you know, with the one where you're able to actually activate the elevator and stuff like that, normally you could do it by make your way down to the bottom and hop onto the elevator itself. And then basically it's the fact that, oh, actually I couldn't think about it. Unlike the original game, it doesn't seem to have that breakable block this time around, which is a bit odd. But if you use Luigi on the other hand, while obtaining the Power Flower, you would do this no problem, because if you manage to able to transform into Invincibility Luigi, that means you're able to finish this level, or to finish this mission, with no sweat. That is something else. Mission 5, go to town for the red coins. And because we're going to be going to the red coin mission now, this also means I'm going to be going for the you know what I mean, 100 coin Power Star mission as well. I'm quite surprised that we pretty much guarantee we can probably able to complete both worlds in this video. Like, we've already tackled through you know, Snowman's Land earlier, and now I suppose we can probably able to conclude this world as well. So that means 2 worlds in a double dip. So that seems a little bit more, I have no idea, that might come across as like obsolete kind of catchphrase, but I was trying to figure out what there are some other catchphrases I can think of, but most of the time I just couldn't even remember most of the time. Oh yeah, I just realized something, is that the bob-on body is actually being switched over. So I'm guessing that might be for the later mission then. Okay then. So, yeah, that's all I can usually try to say about this. Oh yeah, and also same applies to the forms of, trying to able to actually get started with the Wario Land series. Like, at the moment we actually completed Wario Land for the Game Boy, in this case, you know, Super Mario Land 3 recently. And we might as well try to figure out when are we going to be exactly going to be doing Virtual Boy Wario Land, which is the only good game on the Virtual Boy's miserable failure console, which we were planning to do that at some point by maybe once we finish Pokemon Snap. I'm not exactly 100% sure, depending on time or anything else like that. But of course, we will take a break on the video game collection videos from now on, just because, well, we're gonna save these 2 special videos at some point on June, due to the forms of the franchises I was a big fan of. Like, both are related to Sega, of course, so, which you guys, you know what I mean, what I'm talking about, so. Anyways, let's grab some more coins from those little, blocks that we can, oh, jeez, Louise! Okay, that's fine. That is fine, because, well, we'll need to head back down there, though, on the other hand, to take down these little spider-like creatures, and also just trying to activate that blue coin switch. So, if that's to be the case, then we can probably be able to grab those blue coins from that little, almost close to the edge right there. And, also another Let's Play we might consider able to try to do is, actually, I have no idea. Oh yeah, the rest of the Mario Party games, specifically the Hudson Soft ones, because after all, we've already finished up with the N64 trilogy of Mario Party games now, and oh no, these Let's Plays are a lot better than the forms of how it does it on my very, very, very old ones, despite the fact they are no longer in our channel anymore, just because, well, they somehow removed. So because of that, though, we are now able to move on to the next Mario Party era, which is of course the GameCube era. So, some people seem to say that the GameCube era and the N64 era of Mario Party games is one of the best eras, just because of the forms of the controller and stuff like that. Although, some people might be feel skeptical about Mario Party 8 to begin with, but I think that's how I usually think about it. So, anyway, now we actually got that, and now let's go ahead and move on to obviously the mission itself, which we do need to go into the town portion. How do we get there exactly? Well, there are two different methods on here. Like, for instance, you can either just talk to Bob-omb Buddy and use the cannon in the process, which, to be honest, I think it seems kind of worthless on the remake, because if you somehow manage to obtain a Mario cap, or if you play as Mario, or Luigi for that matter, basically, if you manage to obtain a power flower as Mario, then obviously you would able to obtain the balloon power. Which, in this case, you can able to actually do it from there, but sometimes it takes a while to get there. But if you use Luigi, you can able to actually just to go through the actual fences or cages and stuff like that. So, yeah, that pretty much sums it up for the sake of, like, you know, multiple ways to able to actually go in some places, so yeah, that seems a little bit more obvious, standard stuff. So, anyway, let's just go ahead and swim forward, and then hopefully we'll able to get into the town portion, so. And another thing I want to point out as well, that I, managed to recently watch the My Little Pony the movie, the 2017 version I should say, on, surprisingly, I found it on Sky Cinema. Which is kind of surprising, because even then though, I don't think that it doesn't seem to able to broadcast in any channel so far, but this is the only one I can think of, regardless of the forms of Sky Cinema and all that stuff. And for I've checked the actual, the sound quality on that film, in this case one of the greatest films ever in my opinion, which because of the returning of 2D animation, which we have not seen in a very, very long time, and also because I'm still a brony, of course, and it is definitely still a lot better than that terrible Emoji Movie. I mean, seriously, screw that film, because screw that film. I'm sorry, it's just, I really hate that Emoji Movie film. In fact, let me know in the comments about that, because I'm sure that you will able to actually just to realize how badly done that film is, just because, well, it's awful. It's really damn awful. Anyway, at least for My Little Pony the movie 2017, I do like, and especially noticeable I loved it to death, mainly due to the fact that despite there are some, a bit of questionable choices, mainly due to the forms of West Discord or, Shiny Armor, because normally those two characters have become staple in the future episodes of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic in the past, but I have no idea why they just managed to ditch those two characters. Well, at least despite Discord managed to make his cameo appearance, at least on the credit sequence though, not in the actual film itself. So, that's a bit odd. Anyway, so let's go ahead and grab the rest of these remaining red coins, and then the power stars appeared just beyond, right straight on forward. But anyway though, before I've checked the actual sound quality in terms of the Sky Cinema version, I'm talking about the UK version, somehow it's gone high-pitched as opposed to the normal pitch, unlike the DVD version or the Blu-ray version for that matter, so yeah, it kind of reminds me of Chicken Run or Tarzan when they managed to have their different sound pitching. So, Mission 6, Quick Race Through Downtown. And for this mission, obviously we'll go for Luigi, because he was the only one who can able to go through, you know, cages or fences for that matter. So, actually, kind of think about it, I actually managed to obtain, did I mention, about, forget it. Oh yeah, it is very similar to the way how, in the UK releases of, well, specifically Tarzan and Chicken Run, that sometimes those two films manage to have different, sound pitching. Like, to be more specifically, if I managed to still got Tarzan for the DVD, I'm talking about the Disney version classic, because usually it just runs at a pretty good speed, like a normal speed and everything, but the sound quality is actually pretty normal to me. And then usually because it's like almost like a low pitch or low tone. But same applies to Chicken Run as well. That is also one of the great films as well. That seriously, why is there so many great films I can honestly talk about aside from that one terrible film I mentioned? But anyway, Chicken Run also has a low tone as well if I manage to have the DVD version. Although, I'm pretty sure in any other channels do have high-pitched versions as a matter of fact that I managed to able to demonstrate one time whenever I managed able to used to watch Tarzan back in, I think it's in Disney Cinemagic back in the day, but it's no longer there anymore just because it's been changed. So, anyway though. So yeah, basically as you can see on this mission is the fact that obviously you do need to acquire Luigi in order to able to go there for that, you know, that power star to obtain. So there we go. Nicely done, and I think we only got about one more mission left, and that will have to be Mission 7, Soaked Silver Stars. And once again, Silver Stars we need to obtain, so that's to be expected by this point. So, anyway though, and yeah, for what I watched Tarzan back in the day, in Disney Cinemagic back in the day, that normally has like a high tone pitched voices and stuff like that, or the music rather, which honestly, it kind of feels a bit weird at first, but then maybe it's because I'm used to with the old school retro vibe by, you know, getting used to with the lower tone and stuff like that. And as far as Chicken Run is concerned, whenever I managed to watch Chicken Run back in the day in BBC One, whenever they did manage to broadcast that, since I think it was in 2007 if I recall, back in Christmas actually, that if I remember correctly, it does manage to use a high tone little pitch or something like that. So in this case, if I've still got the film on DVD and all that stuff, that it gets like a lower tone pitch. So at least I'm used to it because that was part of my childhood. And unlike the VHS versions of Tarzan and Chicken Run, is that the Tarzan version on the VHS release still managed to able to get the low tone pitched intact, so at least I'm fine with that. And Chicken Run, on the other hand, though, is the only exception on the VHS. Well, I'm talking about the UK releases, because American versions do manage to have the low tone pitched music tone, which is pretty stable for the most part. So yeah, it's kind of weird. And until right now, whenever I managed to able to watch back My Little Pony the movie 2017 film, that basically whenever I watch the DVD version of that film, along with the Blu-ray releases as well, basically everything else goes all like low tone music pitch and stuff like that. And as far as compared to the TV version, including the forms of HBO Max, which either way though, for what I've heard, that they do manage to have the high pitched tone. So at least I haven't watched the full of it though yet. Mainly it's because I watched it so many times on DVD and Blu-ray, and it never gets old to me though. It really, honestly, never gets old, because I can just simply enjoy that every single day. Even though it's certainly way top notch than the forms of that stupid Emoji Movie, because again, I just really hate that film so much. Anyway though, so enough about that jibby jabber, because as you can tell, we have managed to 100% everything in Wet Dry World. So now we can move on to the next world. So we managed to able to complete it 2 worlds so far. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool and everything. So now let's move on to the next world on this painting over there. In this case, course 12, Tall Mountain. And the first mission we have is Scale the Mountain. So normally, I was going to be able to do this normally, but I'm actually going to do a bit of a shuffleware for the sake of this video. Mainly because, well, excuse me, and I somehow managed to get screwed over by those whole crowds of those Goombas right there, just managed to surrounding me. Like, seriously, it is it's not as easy to able to actually just try to land on Goombas sometimes, because it's especially true whenever I was trying to able to be super precise with jumps and stuff like that, but most of the time I keep on failing for most of my jumps, which I know it sounds a little bit more of a odd coincidence anyway, but anyway, let's just go ahead and... ah, dang it, I couldn't grab my ledge, or I couldn't grab the ledge, I should say. So yeah, you probably get the idea of how this is going. So because of that though, until eventually, whenever we get into the forms of, well, let's just say by the end, dang it. Yeah, by the end of March, basically that, regardless of the more uploading schedules of this game, although, mind you, I will talk more about that once we get into the very end of March. So because of that though, we just need to able to save that specific discussion until later. So either way though, yeah, let's just go ahead and just change it to Luigi, because I have no idea why I keep on losing my Wario cap and everything. But anyway, let's just grab those red coins, and because of that, we able to actually just to go ahead and, well, obtain the red coin star mission right here. Again, I know it's a bit out of order, but regardless of everything else though, I just want to get these done before we're able to carry on doing other missions. So the mission I did done is Scary Shrooms Red Coins, as far as the actual mission calls it. So it was actually on the third mission, so yeah, let's head back onto the first mission again. But this time we get able to actually just hopefully just try to able to keep the Wario cap as much as we can. And because of that though, we can able to actually just to take on the normal mission, scale the mountain. So in fact, there was actually a little secret area down there, which, again, we'll save that up until for later. So, either way, though, we can able to expect this much. So, alright, so let's go ahead and jump. Ah, dang it, my triple jumps does usually becomes a little bit problematic, but, either way, we'll just, try this again. But thankfully, we managed to do it anyway. Alright, so, this is where things gets a bit slightly tricky, but regardless of everything else though, I think I might as well do just fine. So, yeah, there's not much else I can honestly try to talk about, I'm afraid. Although, talking of which though, actually, I was normally trying to discuss upon announcements for the Square Enix presentation presents kind of thing, but unfortunately I didn't get enough time for able to discuss that. I'm sure that Maxi will mention more about that until when he goes back onto Mario Kart Arcade GP, until tomorrow anyway, at least specifically in this weekend. So at least he can able to actually mention more about it, at least. So anyway, there you go. Oh, I just somehow managed to went on to the wrong mission. But the mission we did manage to tackle through is Breathtaking View from the Bridge. That's what the name of this mission goes. And it's actually the last mission in this world, surprisingly. So, on the 7th mission, I should say. So, anyway, now let's go ahead and try to deal with Scale the Mountain again. But this time, we're able to grab the Power Star for reals. So, I know it seems a little bit weird for this episode, but regardless of everything else though, it's just the fact the matter is though, is the fact that I would wish if I would like to able to discuss more details about, you know, Square Enix Presents presentation that has been happening since yesterday, but unfortunately though, I didn't got enough time for that. So, but then again, I'll let Maxi will mention more about it until when he goes back onto Mario Kart Arcade GP 1. So, because that way, that if he's going to be doing the exact same tracks again, that at least he can able to actually discuss something new. So, like, for instance, you know, new games announcements or anything else like that. So, at least we're still really hoping for this year's E3 to make it happen, but at least on digital service, because obviously, unfortunately, the live event has been cancelled, probably because of the stupid virus anyway, so... Anyways though, so I think we're pretty much gonna have the endings off at this point right here. Wow, that's 15 stars that we actually obtained in this video, so that seems quite a lot. So yeah, join me next time on Let's Play Super Mario 64 DS. It's the fact that we are still carry on doing Tall Mountain, and eventually we'll head on to the next world afterwards. So I'll see you guys until on Monday. Later, fellas.